Greetings, friends, and welcome to the 3-Minute Horror Show. My name is Ben, Master of the Cool Guy Zone, and I'll be your host on this journey. If you've been here before, welcome back. But if you're new here, I've been reviewing movies for quite some time, and I decided to start making these short videos in hopes that I can either turn you on to something new that you haven't seen before, or maybe warn you against watching something that you shouldn't. I watch the bad movies so that you don't have to. You're welcome.
Alrighty then.
Happy Pride Month! I'm going to be releasing video reviews of queer-coded horror films all month long. I really hope you enjoy. Love is love.
Duh.
Today I'm going to be reviewing the legendary sexy vampire movie, The Lost Boys from 1987. This movie was directed by Joel Schumacher, who is also responsible for perhaps the worst two Batman movies, and one movie that really gave me the ick, 8mm starring Nicolas Cage. This movie came out at a formative time in my life, but believe it or not, I never watched it until I was in my mid-40s. After finally seeing it, though, I can understand why so many people love it. The Lost Boys themselves are 80s cool personified. Throw in the two Coreys and add in a bunch of awesome monster action, and you've got a cannot-miss spectacle. Diane Wiest gets divorced and moves her two boys out to Santa Clara, which seems to be the vampire punk capital of the USA. One son is pretty much an adult, and one is young Corey Haim. On their first night, they go see a shirtless, greased-up muscle man perform easy-listening soft rock while playing his saxophone. This is the famous sexy sax man, and he's performing I Still Believe. The adult child, Mikey, sees Jamie Gertz walking around, and he follows her like a creep. Eventually, she gets on her vampire punk boyfriend's motorcycle, and they drive away. The punk leader is named David, and he's portrayed expertly by Kiefer Sutherland. In an interview asking why he opted to take this movie on, Joel Schumacher stated, "Vampires are hot. They're the only erotic monster. Frankenstein is not hot." And he's not wrong. Corey Haim meets up with Corey Feldman and his brother. Corey Feldman does a Batman voice throughout the entire movie. They are the Frog Brothers, and they run a comic book store, and they know all the real dirt on the local vampires. Meanwhile, Mikey hangs out with Kiefer's gang, gets fed some yucky noodles, drinks their ceremonial blood, and starts to become a vampire like them. The members of the Lost Boys are as follows. Kiefer Sutherland, guy who looks like 80s Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, guy who looks like 80s Adam Driver, Bill S. Prescott, Esquire,
Excellent!
Jamie Gertz, and a little kid. The queer coding in The Lost Boys isn't explicitly stated. It's presented subtextually instead. The Lost Boys themselves are a group of teen outcasts living on the fringes of society, and on top of that, they're vampires. Vampires have always been queer-coded, going back to the earliest instances of their lore. Mikey's search for a sense of belonging mirrors the journey that many members of the queer community have experienced in their lives, and oh boy, there's an awful lot of sexual tension between Mikey and David, isn't there? Corey Haim witnesses his brother's vampire change, and he reaches out to Feldman and his brother for help. They become the Double Corey vampire fighting super team. Mikey gets intimate with Jamie Gertz, and they decide they don't want to be vampires after all. They team up with the Frog Brothers Double Corey super team and work out a plan to kill the head vampire so they'll all be cured. But first they have to figure out who the boss vampire actually is. The final battle sequence is very cool, and I would bet the farm on the fact that these are the vampires that Joss Whedon took inspiration from when creating the vampires for his Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV series. This one's a classic. I enjoyed it a lot. I rate it 9 out of 10. As always, a link to my letterbox will be in the video's description. Leave me a like, comment, and subscribe as it really does boost my engagement and help my channel grow. Smell you later, nerds!
This is just our cover. We're dedicated to a higher purpose.